Stu here with Raid, Shadow Legends, and our Sandlashed Survivor. We just did a guide on her yesterday. Sepulcher Sentinel, we did a guide on a couple weeks ago. Frozen Banshee, we did a guide when she first came out, and some more on her. She's amazing. And then we got the Grave Chill. She's there, and also our Scroll Crusher. Now, keep in mind, we're on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. We're trying to 4-key this, and we will 4-key it very easily with this team. I've run this team many times. And this team cannot work without the three here. We need Skull Crusher, we need our Sandlashed Survivor, and we need our Sepulcher Sentinel. We have to have those here. Then we've got our other ones for our poisons and for our decreased defense. Here we go. Now in the beginning of this, for this thing to work, you have to sit here and just do your A1s or whatever moves you want to with your other two, but your A1s with your Skull Crusher, your Sepulcher, and your Sandlashed Survivor. And believe me, we have to have all three of those, and you're going to see why in just a minute. So we got to wait for the stun. We're just waiting for the stun. Once the stun comes up, then we know to take action. So right here, if you're going to try to make this team, wait for the stun. Now keep in mind, this is there are no legendaries here. We're doing this with 3 epics and a rare. Here we go. We got the stun. Now we're going to wait to come around to our Skull Crusher. Here we go. Skull Crusher is going to do his ally protect and counterattack. There we go. We're going to soak it up. Now we're going to have, so we can just hit auto right now. Basically after that you can hit auto, because here we are. We're going to do our increased defense and our block debuffs, and then there we go. We extend it all so that they will be protected for both the big bangs. You're going to see it more clearly here in just a minute. Let it loop around one more time and pay attention to it. You'll see it. So really, Skull Crusher is protecting us from everything, both big hits, because it's getting extended. His ally protect is being extended, the increased defense is being extended, the counterattack and the block debuffs is being extended, both for the big hits, and then it's up also so we don't get stunned, which is very important. So we need those 3 people in here, right? We've got to have these 3 people in here. So here we go. We've got it for the big hit right now. Boom. Now Sandlashed Survivor is going to extend it for the next one. Watch. When it's her turn, we're just doing counterattacks right now. Here we go. All right, Sandlashed Survivor does it. She extends it all for the next turn so that we can take that big hit again, and all the damage is going on to Skull Crusher, and then we all have our increased defense up and our counterattack up. Now the only thing with this is that you've got to have, obviously you got to have good gear, right? You've got to have good gear. You got to have a Sepulcher at 251 speed, which might be really hard to do. The rest of them are anywhere from 172 to 179, 180. Pretty easy speeds to get to for you, but this is in game. So if you've been farming Dragons 20 for quite a while and you have the gear to do it, you can do this. You can 4-key very easily Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss without a legendary champion. And I think this is really good because Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss can be very difficult. It is super in-game. It is really overtuned for the masses. You need to have either very select special champions like this. Luckily, there are a lot of good teams out there, and this is one of the good teams. So I'm not saying you need to make this team. I've already showed you the 2 Man-Eater Unkillable. There are a whole bunch of other unkillable comps that we'll do. We'll do the Skull Crusher and the tower and the rest of them. We'll do those later on, maybe tomorrow. We'll get those going. But this team is very good, and it's a very nice team because you've got 2 rares over here putting up our decreased defense and our poisons, which is very cool. And then the rest of them flow so well together. Right there, we've got everything up to protect us from this big hit, right? We take the big hit, and then we have Sandlash right there, extend it all so it's still on us, and we take the second big hit. It's amazing. It's amazing. Now, all the damage is going to go to our Skull Crusher. So we got to make sure, like, the biggest thing on this team is, of course, we want to have the decreased attack. Every team that's not an unkillable team has to have that 50% decreased attack to go further in the rounds. You know that. You have to have that. But our Skull Crusher also needs to get lucky and heal himself. Not to 4-key it. We will always 4-key this. This is very easy to 4-key. But to get longer, and I've seen somebody do this team with Rosin Scarhide instead of Grave Chill. Instead of her, they've had Rosin Scarhide there, and they went very far because I guess they got lucky with Skull Crusher always healing himself because he's soaking up all that damage. He's taking 50% of everybody on both those big AoEs. Sure, when he gets down lower or anybody else gets down lower, our Sandlashed Survivor's passive will kick in and she will do ally protect on everybody as well, but still, sometimes it's not enough. We gotta get our Skull Crusher to make sure that he hits that War Master sometimes and heals himself back up. He has to do that. Right there, there we go. He healed himself back up. Because again, he's taking all that damage. The rest of them have it easy because they're counterattacking all the time. Sure, we want to counterattack to get that damage, but we also want to counterattack to make sure that we heal back up. We heal off our War Master and Giant Slayer procs, having that lifesteal gear on. That's how we do it, right? That's how we get the job done. So as you can see, we're already at round 19. We're at 12 million. All we need is 17.5 million to 4K it, and we will be set. And we will. We will easily get this done, no problems. Let's see what we can do here. It won't be any issues at all. We'll get through here. And then also, I did put in rosin and scarhide. Now, the picture I saw with rosin and scarhide, and I'm going to show you this calculator I used over here as well for the speeds that I have on this team. I'll show you that. I was checking some numbers really quick on there. Sorry, I apologize. But I'll show you the spreadsheet where I have the speeds of each of my champions, and it shows the turn order of what they will do. So I think this team, it's very genius, whoever came up with this. Again, the people who come up with these things are amazing. How they figure out this turn order works to be able to block it each round like this. And whoever came up with, you know, holding off and waiting to do your moves, and to the point that we showed in the beginning there, pretty insane, really insane. Let's skip forward a little bit because we do have some things to show you. We're going to go forward. We're down to, oh, no, we got the one with rosin and scarhide. Okay, we are at 26 seconds. Now here, as you can see right there, Skull Crusher did not heal himself. He did not heal himself when he was counterattacking, or when he was attacking basically, because he doesn't get counterattacked. And it left him open. So the boss took advantage of that and killed him with a single shot, which if he did heal himself, it would have gone to Sepulcher and we'd still be rolling, right? We would still be rolling, but still 18.79, not bad at all. All we need is 17.5, and I've run this 10 times. I've run this so many times. I've spent a lot of gems, believe me. I've run this so many times tonight. You will get 17.5, no issues. So we're gonna replace our Grave Chill, and we're gonna put in rosin scarhide. Where's he at? Where's he at? You know what we're gonna do. Let's get forward. Let's get forward to it. So you can see the order again. Okay, here we go. We're zoning in. The order, same thing, right? Always the same order. We don't do anything for a while. We're gonna wait. You wait till you hit that stun. So don't do anything with your Sepulcher. Don't do anything with your Skull Crusher or with your Sandlashed Survivor. Just do their A1s. The rest of your people, you can do whatever you want with the other two. No issues, but you're gonna wait. You're waiting for that stun. Once we get that stun, we'll do Skull Crushers, you know, ally protect and counter. And then you can hit auto. Then you can basically hit auto, because then Sepulcher will do her increased defense, block debuffs, and then Sandlashed will start extending and you're set. So it's really easy. I mean, it's super, super easy to do as long as you have the gear to do it, and of course the champions. But with all these different guides of all these clan boss guides that we keep putting out, I'm hoping that eventually you'll have these. We did an all rare team with our Nightmare clan boss. It was very easy for you to 2-key. Now we're trying to keep going and do better for Ultra Nightmare clan boss. But you know, you got to remember, Ultra Nightmare clan boss is not for just anybody. It is very hard to do. Do we pause or something? What's going on here? I don't know why I'm waiting. Am I waiting to hit auto? What's going on here? Come on, Stu, let's do it. What are you doing? So it's very hard. It's not for... Did I hit auto yet? There we go. I hit auto. Okay. So it's not for just anybody. You got to have insane gear. You've got to have the correct champions. You got to have counterattack in most cases, or you got to have an unkillable team. So it's very hard. We know that. You just can't come in here. Even with that all rare team that I did with Nightmare Clan boss, you bring it in here and they get stomped. It just does not work. It's a little overtuned for me, for the average player, but we're trying to bring you ways and options to do it, right? That's what it's all about. So we have rosin in here, same turn order you saw earlier. Once you have it going, it's the same exact thing. We're getting ally protect, we're getting increased defense and block debuffs up, along with counterattack and all of our other champions, but Skull Crusher. Now for one turn, he does have unkillable on himself, but he has to heal back up, right? He has to heal back up. So let's see what kind of damage we get with these guys here. Let's just jump forward, check it out, and see what we get. So again, we died later on, but we got to 20 million. 20.25 million. Again, not bad. Easy 4-key. You're always going to 4-key it. And again, I did see somebody get 35 million with this team here, with this exact team. And I have the exact same gear, if not better gear. So it must have been just a lucky time for Skull Crusher to keep healing himself whenever he would attack, and they just proceeded forward. Mine has not been that lucky yet. He just keeps missing it sometimes. So we die. That's the way it is. But you will always 4-key this, and believe me, you don't need rosin scarhide. You don't have to have it. You saw me use the rare earlier. That is all you need to do it. So let's look at these spreadsheets here. I'm going to pull them over so we can look at them really quick. We have these two spreadsheets. Now this is the speed I have on there. Sepulcher Sentinel, we have 251. It's hard to get 251. It really is in lifesteal gear. So, you know, that's up to you whether you have that or not, right? Whether you can do that or not, but you do need the speed. For these speeds, you can be anywhere from 172 to 180, but you do need to do Skull Crusher at 172. Make sure Skull Crusher is at 172, and the rest of these can be between 173 and 180, and you don't want any duplicate numbers. Make sure you always space it out. Right here's the other one that I copied off of, 180, 177, 176. Then they had their Skull Crusher at 172. I've got mine at 79, 77, 73, and then my Skull Crusher at 172. So just make sure you're there. Don't go over 180. And don't go under 172, and don't copy any numbers. Don't have duplicate numbers. Make it 172, 173, 174. Don't have any 177s together, right? You got it. So it's that easy, and then you can see the turn order here, and you want to make sure that whatever you do, you have the same exact turn order here. And let's get over to our champion so we can see what we're working with. Here we are. So I didn't have another key to load them up to show you a key, so I'm just going to show you it this way. As a team here, we have our Sepulcher Sentinel. She is loaded up at 251 like we just talked about. Over 4,000. Get to 4,000, right? You want to get to 4,000 defense for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. If you can get a little bit higher than that, that's great. But definitely you need to get to 4,000, right? I like to get a little bit higher as much as I can. We need that accuracy. We have to have accuracy at least 220. Get 220 accuracy on everybody that's going to do debuffs, right? You want that. So we got Sepulcher, Sandlashed Survivor. We just did a guide on her. Very important. We don't need accuracy on her for this. We can take off her accuracy banner and we can put on defense banner, and that's what I did. She's got insane defense now with the gear I have on her. 173 speed. We've got, you know, whatever HP we came up with. I've got good crit on her. We're trying to get some damage out of her. There we are. So she's the one extending all the stuff that we have. We need her. Then we've got Skull Crusher here at the 172, was it? 172. We got him at 5,000. We don't need any accuracy on him. Actually, we don't want any because we don't want him doing this heal block on the boss if we can help it, so it doesn't take up one of our 10 debuffs. And then we've got our Frozen Banshee, which she needs to go first. If you're going to run Frozen Banshee and Grave Chill, she needs to go first so that she can apply, so that when they start going on rotation, she'll apply this first. And don't worry about this move here. If you've never watched my video on Frozen Banshee before, and when she came out, how amazing she is, she will not do this move on the boss. So it will never throw off turn meter. Anytime you're running through the boss, even in a dungeon, once you get to the boss, she will never do this move. She will only ever do it on waves, so she'll never do it on the clan boss. Do not worry. She'll only do this on an actual boss, which is actually pretty cool. So she'll start off with this on a boss, then she'll do that move, her A1. But since he starts off with poison sensitivity, that's great because we need it for our girl right here. So that when we have poison sensitivity, she does the 5% poisons, and then she'll come back around, and once we have poisons up, she'll do the 60% decreased defense, which is amazing. And so Grave Chill, we have her at 177, 4,000, little low HP, but I mean, we got to work with what we can. These are rares, right? These are rares. We could try to get her more HP from other avenues if we can, but it doesn't matter. You're going to 4-key it. You are going to 4-key it with this team, and if you want to, you can sub in Rosin Scarhide if you have him built up, or it gives you something to work toward because Rosin is amazing everywhere in this game. Everywhere. He's the best fusion to ever do. We've got amazing stats on Rosin as well. Not really high crit, but you know, I just threw on whatever gear we had. We got his accuracy up because he is doing our weaken and our decreased defense. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do for this. Sounds like a lot, I know, but it's a really good team for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, and you don't have to have a legendary champion, so I think it's pretty amazing. Do you have to have the gear? Yes. Farm Dragons 20 nonstop all day. Always farm Dragons 20. Get the gear that you need. Get that lifesteal gear. Get that speed gear, and you'll be able to do this, because the other four are actually pretty easy. The other four are not too bad to do. They're lower speeds. This one is definitely hard to do. She's harder to do. Very hard to do. So if you're gonna, I wouldn't say very hard to do, but you definitely want to look for those rares that have something on it in speed, and then try to get 2 speed hits on that lifesteal gear, and you'll be set. And that's about it. That's all I've got for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. That's Sandlashed Survivor. Again, she is amazing. And if you haven't seen that guide, go watch that. Watch the Sepulcher Sentinel one, and watch the Frozen Banshee or the All Rares Do Nightmare Clan Boss. That one was actually pretty amazing. I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you guys all on a video soon.